Hi there, everyone. This is Sean, and welcome to Questioning Money, a newsletter taking a closer look at how money works and how it affects the world around us. Today, I'm going to go through how our healthcare system has ended up the way that it is today. Whether you believe in universal healthcare or you believe that healthcare should be private, it's worth taking a look to see at how we got where we are, because everyone agrees that the system is a mess. Part of the reason I find this topic interesting is because private healthcare insurance today is not like other types of insurance that we have. How come health insurance is not like car insurance, where it's just something that you pay for? How did we get into this weird, problematic state where healthcare is given by your employer? So, before the 1940s, there really wasn't much of a health insurance industry at all. For the most part, the way it worked was just that you went to the doctor and you paid whatever the cost was. There were a few businesses that offered what was essentially true private health insurance, but very few people used it. Essentially, there was no widespread health insurance prior to the 40s. Once America got involved in World War II, there was a concern that the amount of money printing used to fund the war would lead to rampant inflation and hurt America's economy. This led to the 1942 Stabilization Act. It's a pretty strange bill in hindsight, but what it did is that it limited employers' ability to raise wages. It made it so that employers could not give workers a raise. Now, offering higher wages to prospective employees is the main way that companies compete with each other for talent. If two companies in the same industry both have the same position open, the job seeker is likely going to choose the company offering a higher wage. After the 1942 Stabilization Act, companies couldn't really do this anymore. They needed to come up with other incentives besides straight pay in order to attract the best talent. This led to some companies offering to pay for employees' healthcare as an added benefit. This is essentially how our modern system of healthcare started. More and more companies began to try and entice prospective employees with non-monetary benefits. Eventually, it became so widespread that it has morphed into the mega industry that it is today. I think it's important to realize that employer-sponsored healthcare was really good and beneficial for Americans when it first started. Employer-sponsored healthcare is the reason why we have health insurance at all in America, and it provided levels of insurance and coverage that significantly predate other countries' methods of insurance. It's not like America looked at the way other countries were doing healthcare and then decided that we should do it this way. There just really was no such thing as widespread health insurance, and it was a really great innovation by these companies, motivated by competition, that helped a lot of people and had worked for a really long time. Here's the thing though, the system definitely does not work now. What worked in 1960, when America had 150 million people, many of whom were uninsured, but it didn't really matter because the cost of healthcare was so much cheaper, doesn't work in 2020 when 350 million people need health insurance because the price of healthcare in dollar terms has gotten so exorbitantly expensive. I'm not going to talk about why healthcare has gotten so expensive, even though I certainly have my opinions on the topic, but there's no doubt that it has gotten more expensive. And in all likelihood, it's going to keep getting more expensive. Even beyond the surface level cost of healthcare, the demographic shifts that are happening in the US with the aging baby boomer population means that there are going to be a lot more old people to take care of who are living longer than ever. Healthcare is going to get more expensive. And the system today just doesn't work anymore. I think it's mostly a problem of scale and the natural evolution of society. What worked for a smaller number of people 50 years ago just doesn't work in 2020. As we all know, though, it's not that easy to change the system. Whether you want Medicare for all or you want a form of private health insurance, which our current system really isn't, I think that we can all agree that how health insurance today is not working. The employer model was a great innovation in 1942, but now we need something else. Nothing highlights this fact more than the coronavirus pandemic, where so many Americans lost their jobs and now don't have health insurance for protection. So that is all for this issue of Questioning Money. I felt like it was important to understand how we got to where we are today instead of just arguing about what to do next. It's not like we chose this healthcare system. It was the natural result of competition among employers, and it really benefited workers for a long time. But it doesn't work anymore. So, thank you all for listening. You can find me on Twitter at Sean Cover. If you like the newsletter, please subscribe to get it sent to your email inbox every Monday, and I'll be back next week. Take care.